This is the unofficial theme song for the Lakers season right now. Alright, so if y'all don't know, that was Sublime with Rome Panic. And there's a lot of panic going on in LA because the Lakers are playing like crap. I haven't even wanted to look at the records because it's just kind of depressing to see. But for the purpose of the video, I'm just going to say it, even though we hate to admit it. Let's see. The Lakers are... Well, this is good news. They're third in the Pacific Division, which isn't bad. They're 17-25. They lost 4 in a row. And it doesn't seem like the bottom's dropping down anytime. Bottom's... I don't even know how to say it. It's just kind of frustrating to see. It's like you don't even know where the bottom is. It's just keep falling down. But here's something I want to talk about with the Lakers. The reason why the Lakers are not winning is quite simple. It's not Dwight Howard. It's not Kobe Bryant. It's the guy calling the plays. Mr. Mike D'Antoni, as we call him around here. We don't pronounce the D because clearly the Lakers have abandoned the idea of playing defense with him there. And I'm just going to bring something up before I get into Mike D'Antoni real quick. I'm going to compare it to UCLA really quickly. You know I'm a UCLA fan. I've done UCLA videos. And the big thing with UCLA that I've seen so far is they've won 11 out of the last 12 games. The big problem I had with UCLA this year was Ben Howland and how Ben Howland appeared to completely misuse this talented roster that he had. He wanted to play this slow-down game, handcuff his players, abandon any idea of the fast break that he wanted to do at Media Day, and UCLA struggled. I mean, Shabazz wasn't playing. You have to get himself back in shape. Shabazz Muhammad, I mean. And UCLA stumbled, and nothing was worse than when they lost to Cal Poly SOO. I mean, that was one of the worst losses I've seen as far as just a team that had no business beating UCLA at Pauley Pavilion, and yet they did. Now, since that game, I've been watching UCLA a little bit closer. The main thing I've seen them do now, they've adjusted. It's like Ben Howland woke up and said, look, this isn't going to work. We got personnel that can do certain things and they can't do certain things. So what we're going to do, we're going to make adjustments. So what do? They started running more. They have a point guard who can do that in Larry Drew too. They have fast players and athletic players in Shabazz Muhammad, Collins, and other guys who can get up the floor. They decided to just turn it up and said, we're going to run fast break. The offense first, defense second. Now, give Ben Howland credit because defense is his bread and butter. But he said, look at the personnel I have. What can I do with them? How can I make this work? Because if I don't, I'm losing my job. So what did he do? Made the adjustments. UCLA rattled off a 10-game winning streak. They beat Missouri, who I'm not even sure how good we can say they are now since they've been stumbling, but still a big win for them. They just beat Arizona at Tucson, which is the first time they've done that in 5 years, I believe. First time they beat a ranked team in 5 years. And they look much better. They look more fun to watch. When they were playing those first 8 games, they looked terrible. They were boring. It was almost like, here we go again with another top class with great players and Ben Howland's wasting them. But he made the adjustments. They've gotten faster. They've run up and down the floor. And against Arizona, their defense led to their offense. They created turnovers. They got up the court. They pressured Arizona. And Arizona in the half court wasn't making a lot of plays. And they took advantage of that and they won wire to wire. I mean, that's the kind of thing that a coach is supposed to do. A coach is supposed to make adjustments. And as much as I've criticized Ben Howland, I will give him credit for that. And I'm almost ready to say he should be Pac-12 Coach of the Year. I'm almost ready to say that, which is crazy. I bring that up to say the Lakers. Look at Mike D'Antoni. He came in wanting to play a certain way, with Steve Nash running point, with them running up and down the court, jacking up a lot of threes, and turning Pau Gasol from post player with a mid-range game to a spot-up shooter and a three-point shooter. And last I checked, if I was watching the same Olympics you were, Pau Gasol is much, much better working in the post, setting high screens, running a pick and roll, than out there being a stretch four, shooting shots all day. Same thing with Metta World Peace. He loves shooting those threes. He can hit them occasionally, but that's not his game anymore. I mean, he can get a mid-range shot here and there. He can get to the post. He's not the young guy he was. And, I mean, you look at this personnel, there's no reason to suspect the Lakers should be running up and down the court. I mean, They can't. They're an older team. Steve Nash is 39. Kobe's been in the league for 16 years. Pau Gasol's pushing 30. Meta's 30. I mean, these guys are older. And then looking at their bench. Jameson's 30. So you're looking at guys who can probably run this offense. You have Earl Clark, who isn't really a Sean Marion, Joe Johnson type. You have Jody Meeks, who I think should be utilized a lot more. Jameson could be used as like a stretch four because he has that range, but I don't see it. And then you have, what else? You have a team that's best suited to just kind of like play in the half court, do screens, get the ball into the post, work out of there, go inside, outside. That's the best way to run this team. And Antony is wasting the big men. He's stubborn enough to think, okay, what worked for me in the past is going to keep working. And let's not forget, he got ran out of New York trying to run that same type of offense that his point guard loved. Raymond Felton had a great year. Jeremy Lin did his thing in there. But he got ran out of New York for that. So what makes you think that it's going to work in LA when you have an older team? You have Kobe, who's, older, and he has to defend the best perimeter player because Steve Nash can't guard a brick wall. I mean, what can you expect? And you can look at Dwight Howard and say that Dwight Howard's not 100%. His back is limiting him severely. He's not the same athletic guy that we used to see. And because of his limited post game, he's not able to make those adjustments he has to make in his game. But the Lakers need to be trying to get him the ball in the post. They need to be trying to get Gasol the ball in the post. And not of these high screening rolls where Powell's standing up there doing his damage from 15, 17 feet all the time. And let's face it, Steve Nash, I wrote about this earlier this season. As much as I like Steve Nash, I just don't think he's I think he's a liability right now. He can't guard anybody. I mean, the last two games, Kirk Hinrich and Mike Conley got every shot they wanted. And they had great scoring games because of Steve Nash guarding them. You can't put Kobe on them all the time because what's going to happen is Kobe's going to be burned out. And then in the fourth quarter, you see what's happening where Kobe's shooting terrible shots and his legs are tired. Now, to be fair, Kobe needs to cut that out, but we know what Kobe is at this point. So I'm looking at the coach because clearly Antony has to realize, look, my system's not working. And if I'm going to save this season, I got to change. But he's not going to change, and that's what makes me so frustrated. And I only look across town at Westwood to see how Ben Howland, who I regard as one of the most stubborn coaches I've seen in LA, he's changed. And he actually has a better resume than Antony. So, I don't understand it. But that's the problem. It's not Dwight Howard, as much as he, apologized for being immature and all this stuff, which I'm glad he said, but he's not the problem. Kobe's not the problem. It's about defense. It's about coaching. I've said that from day one. I'll say it again. And it's up to Antony to figure out how to fix that. And if you want some good way how to fix that, go look at what Ben Howland's doing. He's got UCLA playing much, much better. The Lakers, at this point, we're counting down the days to they're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. And then we're really going to have to make those adjustments that nobody wants to talk about. So that's all I got to say. I hope you enjoy my rant. I'm going to try to do some more videos, but this one came to mind. So I'm going to post this up on YouTube, of course, and it'll be on my blog. I'm going to post some links as well. And Laker fans, keep enjoying Sublime. Peace. I need a reason and I got to know. Don't you wish I was mine? Don't you wish you open doors and close them? You're quicker than the end most. Can't you see there is hope here? It's time for reaction.